Breaking right now, Meghan Markle's as ever catastrophe is far worse than we thought. Shocking new reporting from Rob Shooter. I'm going to take you through it, then we'll get reaction from our royal mastermind, Angela Levin. His headline: Meghan Markle's lifestyle brand teeters on collapse, out of cash, bills unpaid. He writes the dream lifestyle empire is spiraling into chaos. Sources telling him her much-hyped brand, once billed as the next Goop, is running out of cash, drowning in debt, and facing lawsuits from unpaid vendors. It's a disaster, one insider spills. No leadership, no direction, and no money. Vendors haven't been paid in months. He writes the brand, which was pitched as Meghan's passion project of California's chic meets royal glam, was supposed to be her post-palace moneymaker. Instead, weak strategy and ballooning costs have turned it into a money pit. They blew millions on PR without securing supply chains, says a former consultant. It's business 101, and they skipped it. He reveals that production has ground to a halt, investors have gone cold, and even Meghan's name, once her biggest asset, has become a liability. Every misstep gets magnified, a source warns. Unless she secures a last-minute lifeline, the brand could fold within months. This isn't just rocky, one insider says. It's already sinking. Wow, Angela Levin, we knew things were bad with As Ever, which of course Meghan has proudly boasted to be the unofficial chief executive officer of, but these new details from Rob Shooter are truly shocking.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about them. I think that this, I agree with you 100%, okay? And I think that people have exaggerated this in a very nasty way. They wanted to get everything out quickly. So many of the things are from, the one before. We'd loved her last time, but I didn't think that worked at all. But, it's so careless. I mean, the worm next to the cake. And I've had a woman who wrote to me and was absolutely horrified. She was very involved with this work. Her name's Diana. Have you got 2 minutes to hear from that?
Yes,
not?
Please.
Yeah, she was saying there's something so much desperately wrong here. A promotion use of shortbread cookie, flour sprinkles, and delicious breadfruits, none of which are available to purchase. And only one, raspberry spread, is labelled as coming soon, although that label's been there for a very long time. It all looks a mess. The shortbread fingers are random sizes and all the items are unevenly cooked. The state of baking tray is appalling and the piece of baking paper covering it is cut very oddly. The fingers look as though the icing has been applied whilst they are on the baking tray. The icing runs into the baking paper in several places. What on earth possessed anyone to post this? It is beyond.
It's amateur hour.
Yes, but it's not
amateur hour.
We've seen with Meghan that she doesn't like detail. She wants to go through things. She wants to be on the television. And actually the realistic hard work, she doesn't want to do it all. She said she's very busy, but you don't see that in what she's doing. Why wasn't someone watching and saying, look, we can't do these fingers. They're absolutely disgusting. My God, we've got a worm here. We can't use any of this on the tray. Who would have a worm and then carry on? I mean, it is beyond.
But this is the problem, Angela. She doesn't listen to anyone.
Exactly.
She's been totally on her own. And the problem is she's not up to this.
The buzz is getting louder. Meghan Markle's glossy as ever lifestyle play, the one pitched as her big reinvention, looks wobbly. What was teased as a chic, Gwyneth-style ecosystem of wellness, recipes, and aspirational goods has hit the rumor mill for all the wrong reasons. Industry chatter says the rollout's been muddled, the messaging unclear, and the timeline choppy. The original promise was simple: turn the Duchess into a modern tastemaker with a California royal twist. But hype has a half-life, and once the sheen wears off, people start asking basic questions. What is this? Who's it for? And why now?
And Angela, something really interesting. I know you have spotted this too. Black women now turning on Meghan. Now, I spoke about Instatricks from TikTok yesterday, but there's now a brand new TikTok influencer who is going viral. Angela, you write of this woman. You are spot on, madam. And just what people need to hear about Meghan. Yes, I think that London young lady is completely right. Because, of course, the criticism yesterday was the fact that Meghan Markle exhibited no blackness in her trailer for With Love, Meghan 2, which was filled with whiteness, which is fine given she is a white woman. But remember, the controversy here is that Meghan Markle used her quote unquote blackness to gain a whole particular audience while trying to bring down the British royal family. Angela, I mean, she's quite a feisty lady, but what do you make of her?
I thought she was terrific. I mean, I read it and I thought, my goodness, I had to write on the top, and then I read it again and I thought, she's exactly right about everything she's saying about Meghan. She's really got it. She's not making any excuses. She's absolutely straightforward and so articulate. She's terrific, absolutely terrific.
And Angela, does she have a point that Meghan has effectively hoodwinked, I guess, her black supporters who were there for her when she was making these claims, which at the time, Angela, we were saying to them, like, this is just untrue. Like, nothing to do with Meghan's treatment within the royal family was down to race.
Yeah, she just wanted something that she can say, that you're hurting me because I'm black, that you won't let me go out. You've taken away my keys and my passport, so you won't let me out because I'm black. You won't let my son have a proper name, Prince, and that's because we're black. It's all nonsense. They didn't get it because he was too young for it. You had to have the Queen die, and then he could have a title. She knew that, Harry knew that, but it was just an opportunity to moan. I mean, even her mother left the home of where they were because she was fed up of Meghan moaning. She's Miss Mona, and this lady has got her absolutely right, absolutely spot on. With no, she doesn't mind at all what she says, what she feels. She's had enough of her. And I think that's most people, and that's why lots of things are not working out for her, because people have seen through and they don't like what they see.
No, very, very true. They absolutely don't. Angela, meanwhile, it's not just Meghan Markle facing crisis. Prince Harry now having to deal with another major issue within one of his charities. I mean, we've already seen Send to Bali. We've already seen Africa Parks. But now we're talking about the Invictus Games, which is probably the one thing that people think have been working for him. But Paula Frolick, who's a very good American reporter who's working for News Nation at the moment, has revealed that people involved in the Invictus Games now feel they're being used for PR, are quitting in their droves, with 2,000 members leaving in just 2 years, Angela. But he says that, Paula, but actually at the end of the day, the problem is he is now using these charities, as Dr. Sophie Chandoka has proven, by the way, with Send to Bali, to try and further his personal brand, his commercial brand. And we saw that happen earlier in the year at the Invictus Games, where Meghan Markle actually had to be sent home in a huff because she had so overshadowed what was going on with those incredible Invictus competitors. I actually think the Invictus Games would now be much better off without Prince Harry involved at all. But Paula had more on this. I mean, Angela, this is the problem though, isn't it? Because he is constantly split, because he isn't really wanting to dedicate his life to it. His priority is making money, and then he wants to look good via the charities. And I know you have been reporting for some time on the issues within the Invictus Games. What do you know?
Yeah, well, people will email me and say, can't you stop him? It's absolutely terrible. But I have my own feeling that he's got a plan. He's asked his father if he can come in 27. It's not 2 years, which is a long time to do with anybody who's elderly. And Meghan was never going to do anything, but she's now decided she will come. And as usual, give speeches, which we don't want. Now, I think that that's done because that week that's on, Usually it's not in July. Usually it's in the autumn or in the spring. But this time is specially done, and I think it's because Camilla's 80th birthday is there. Now, there's the king. What does he do? Does he go to see what his son's doing? Does he stay with Camilla? And I think Harry's doing it, so if he doesn't turn up, then he can say, look at my father. He doesn't even care what I'm doing, doesn't know what I'm doing. And if Meghan is there making a speech, she's won, and King Charles hasn't, because I'm absolutely sure he wouldn't be making a speech. So it's a terrible plot to try and make something out of it, which he should be absolutely ashamed of. Nobody wants Meghan telling these guys who've fought so long and been wounded so badly how they can feel better. Shut up. It's nothing to do with you. Nor do they want to see her in very, very short shorts walking in front of them as if she's at a fashion show and they have to walk with her, behind her. No, it doesn't make any sense. She says she's not coming to England. Stay away, but I don't believe it. But if they don't let Harry keep on being in his position there, someone else could do it. And actually what we're interested in is the people who've been wounded and now recovering. We're not interested in Harry doing some sort of family game which he would win. It's absolutely outrageous.
According to folks familiar with the effort, the sticking point isn't ambition, it's execution. The critique goes like this: too many last-minute pivots, a brand voice that shifts week to week, and a founder who wants to sign off on every pixel while sidelining people hired to steer the ship. The end result doesn't feel curated so much as chaotic, less serene lifestyle, more scramble. And let's be honest, when your public image is already polarizing, the bar for a clean launch is higher, as ever was supposed to be sleek and self-possessed. Instead, to many onlookers, it reads scattered and out of touch. One flop would be a blip, but stacked on top of the Spotify breakup, the uneven Netflix afterglow, and never-ending legal noise, even small misfires start to look like a pattern.
It is, and look, Angela, it's not just Invictus either, because I think there is more to come from the Africa Park scandal too.
I want him to let stand down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Newsweek is reporting. I have to give credit for Newsweek for reporting because they're usually in the pocket of Harry and Meghan. Prince Harry urged to quit charity where abuse allegations were upheld. And this is Jonathan Mazoa, who is the communications director at Survivor International, telling Newsweek, we think that Prince Harry and anyone else involved in African Park should either commit the organisation to a completely new way of doing business or step down, Angela.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Harry concentrates on that. I mean, he's being told what to do all the time, every minute of the day, I'm sure, from Meghan, if he's around. And she doesn't look after, she's not interested in Africa. She was just for 2 days after they met where they could sleep under the stars for a week. But otherwise it doesn't suit her because it's not smart enough and the cameras aren't going to show her off to her best side. And I think that, he's so lost that he doesn't know what to do. So he comes out with absolutely ridiculous things and not doing anything properly.
I know, he never does. He never does. Angela, you have been looking into Christmas because there's briefing from Meghan Markle's team that she is set for a magical family reunion this Christmas. But you're asking, well, what exactly does that mean?
Exactly. What does it mean? Her family is her, Harry, and her 2 children. They've not been invited to come to London or by the King to spend Christmas together with them. So that family is out of the way. She's not interested in any of her own family apart from her mother. And her mother stormed off because she's had enough of working and looking after the children and Meghan moaning. So she's gone to be with her friends and to relax a bit at her age. And so I think what Meghan is going to do, which she thinks will be so wonderful and mystery and everything, is to try and hurt Princess, and that she will learn how to play the piano. She will learn how to sing better than she can. I don't know if she can, but she's going to practice being taught. And so that Catherine, she does it on the same day as Catherine or just a day or two before. And so she can spoil it for Catherine. Now, Catherine does wonderful, wonderful Christmas days where she has a lot of children who are there who had problems and they've not been well, and a lot of people who've done wonderful things, and people who can sing and want to create a very beautiful, religious but fun mood. And she can play the piano, and I wonder if this year she might be well enough to do that, and she plays very well. I'm a piano player, and I recognize a good piano player when I hear one. And so she can create the very, very nice time. And it's all about other people, not about her. It's helping other people. Whereas Meghan, it's me, 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 me. Look how I sing. Look, I can play the piano. Now, if she goes up against Catherine when she's learnt for 3 months, we'll all be laughing. It would be, like a 5-year-old who can just play with one finger. But she wants to do this because, as we've said before, she is obsessed with trying to put Catherine down. It's not that she wants to be part of the thing with her. She wants to win. And that's what she's doing. It's really spiteful and nasty. And how she's going to have her own Christmas is absolutely up to her. But it's not. She's not created a very good place to be or people to be with, has she?
No, she definitely hasn't. I certainly wouldn't want to be spending Christmas with her. Angela, I've got to ask you too about this sick PR stunt from Prince Harry, using the memory of Prince Philip, then clearly leaking the story to his new little favourite propagandist, Cameron Walker, at GB News. According to Taz posted on this, Harry using Prince Philip to try and stay relevant is not surprising, but it is a new low, especially considering how he and Meghan lied and attacked the family whilst he was dying for money and continued to try and destroy the Queen's legacy in her final years. Utterly vile. Angela, do you agree that this is a shocking
more
PR
than
stunt?
vile.
Here's where the human side kicks in. People close to the scene say Meghan is feeling the heat, long days, short tempers, and a growing sense that the internet is waiting to pounce. Sources also point out the headwinds she can't control: Harry's courtroom calendar, clogging headlines, Hollywood contacts growing cooler, and a news cycle that loves a reversal. This was meant to be the comeback. A clean separation from palace drama, proof she could stand up a real consumer brand. Instead, critics argue it's become another lightning rod that fuels brand fatigue. Fair or not, perception is reality in this game, and right now, the perception is rough, adventure that promised calm but keeps generating storms. If As Ever doesn't find its footing fast, clear positioning, consistent product, visible customers, it risks becoming the case study nobody wants.
That 3 times more than vile is disgusting. In 2021, when he'd left, he wanted to put some flowers down for one occasion. It doesn't matter what it was. And the Queen immediately said, the late Queen said, no, you can't do this. You're no longer a member of the royal family, so you can't do this. So he's waited until there was this event, and waited until Camilla and the King left the place, and then got someone, which he paid £23 for, to go and put down this wreath. Now, that in itself is utterly disgusting, isn't it? To do that, and a very important thing, and go against the Queen, just to sort of prove that he was going to do it because he wanted to. Now, the other thing about it is that what he wrote on the letter that he attached to that, and I just want to say one little bit of it there. He said, talked about his grandfather in the mountains of Burma and all that. And then, today, as both our nations mark this anniversary, we acknowledge the respect earned, the lives lost, and the enduring friendship that has since taken root. I am humbled by your example. He's really humbled by his grandfather, proud of your service and dedication, and profoundly grateful for what you endured. Your story is part of our shared heritage, and it must never be forgotten. With the deepest respect, thank you. good heavens, he spoke to Meghan, to Omar, and said to her how awful their family was. When the Duke of Edinburgh, it's very moving for me, when the Duke of Edinburgh was very, very ill and taken to hospital, he was having a operation, which for a man who's very, very nearly 100 is very serious indeed. And the Queen and everybody else said to him, please don't do this talk with now. Please wait for a month or so when your grandfather will be better, we hope, and that the Queen will feel better too. And he refused to do that. There's probably Meghan absolutely shouting, I want it done now. And so they went ahead attacking the royal family, attacking everybody, how they didn't look after them, they didn't anything. He was authentically himself with a serious, sharp wit, and nobody wanted to help him. I mean, have you ever heard of such a disgusting thing? His grandfather's wonderful, but he can't hold off on talking about the royal family in the most disgusting way for a few weeks. I mean, how could he then say something else? How could you do it? I mean, I think it's absolutely the most revolting thing I have ever heard from a grandson and his grandfather. Absolutely shocking.
I know, Angela. And he will stoop to new depths that continue to shock us, which really is something.
It will, it does, that's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you can't believe it gets worse and worse.
But it does. Somehow he manages it. Angela Levin, our royal mastermind biographer to Queen Camilla and Prince Harry, thank you so much.
Zoom out and the narrative writes itself. Every Sussex project lives or dies by credibility. When it's mission-driven and well executed, the public leans in. When it feels like a storyline in search of substance, they tap out. That's the crossroads for As Ever. Can Meghan cut through the noise, empower the operators she hired, and deliver something people actually use and love? Or does this become another entry on the almost list that makes future partners skittish? Because if even loyal fans start to shrug, the runway gets very short, very fast. So where do you land? Do you see a shaky launch that can still be course corrected? Or is this the inflection point where the lifestyle dream stops landing? Drop your take in the comments, hit like if you're following the saga, and subscribe for straight up coverage without the fluff.